Slow. It's just been slow in terms of trying to lay off of it a little bit and just letting it heal, and just doing the right things in terms of when you don't have activity, you really got to watch the other parts of your life, like nutrition and things like that. I mean, you don't want to take a step back and gain weight or anything like that. You got to make sure you do the necessary things to stay where you want.
We've all seen that you always get up, but this must have been quite a blow.
A little bit. It's funny. I mean, hearing all the comments and things like that. Just kind of I think helped enhance my focus more. It's obviously not something that I wanted to have happen, but there's nothing you can do about it. And so from that standpoint, you have to look at the injury for exactly what it is, which is something that's going to heal and be as strong as it ever was. I was fortunate that it wasn't a meniscus or anything else, and so there's nothing that I have to really do from a recovery standpoint other than letting the bones heal, letting the fracture heal. So you just kind of just have to look at the injury in a vacuum.
Is there you have to put complete, no pressure on it? Can you do anti-gravity machine or what could you do?
So what I've been doing is what I've been able to do is I've been able to do some bike work. So I've been doing a lot of that. They don't want me putting any pressure on it, not yet in terms of standing or anything like that, or putting too much force on it.
What would you say as far as pain?
It's really not painful. It's which kind of concerned me after the game. Since I got in the locker room, it just felt like something was off. It just felt weird because it just felt like it was just a lot of swelling that was inside of the knee, and it was a different feeling. It wasn't a painful feeling. And so when it's something like that, it always worries me a little bit.
Were you really relieved when you found out that it wasn't an ACL?
Well, I mean, I was going in just to be cautious, and I was expecting really a bone bruise more than anything else. And I actually thought Lombardo was joking when he told me. And I said, it's not funny, And he said he was quite serious. So.
Kirby, when you look back on it, essentially, it was probably the entire half with how do you process all that and just the ability.
I don't know. You just I don't know. You just go out and play and just do what you can.
When you're saying that some of the comments made helped enhance your focus, is there anything in particular that struck a nerve?
It's the same old tune. It's just being sung a little more loudly now, and it's just those type of things just really help me lock in, more than ever.
What about this being the actual first Christmas Day game and missing your entire career?
Yeah, I mean, it's strange to be coming in on Christmas and not, not playing. It's really strange. It's a foreign feeling. But I'm here, and I'm here to support my guys and watch them go out there and play well.
How much are you looking forward to this game? In terms of being kind of the biggest stage you've been on since you've come back from the injury and the matchup. Were you looking forward to that?
Yeah, I mean, this was a really big measuring stick, in terms of their activity, their speed, their size. I was really, looking forward to this game to really being able to measure where I was physically, especially the time frame, in which I came back. I was really looking at this game as being a game where I would be in rhythm and really be able to measure, what I can do and can't do.
The same old tune, as you suggested. I'm sure includes suggestions that you don't come back this season. Any chance of that?
Not that I'm aware of. My job as an athlete is to train, get healthy, get strong, and come back and do my job.
How does it maybe age your Achilles?
How does it what?
Does it do anything maybe Does this help the Achilles, you think?
Well, I mean, it can't hurt it. You know, it can't hurt it. You know, it just gives you more time, gives me more time to get even stronger and stronger. I think, you know, from my game standpoint, you know, it's you know, it gives me the opportunity to evaluate where my body was feeling, because, you know, you got to respond to several challenges. You know, one was the Achilles, and the other is, you know, playing for 18 years and how your body responds. So it gives me a great opportunity to look at some of the issues or challenges I might have been having, you know, physically in other areas. And then now I can readjust my program and, you know, and come back, you know, even better. It's feeling good. I mean, my legs obviously had a little, you know, had a little weight to them, you know, from all the playing. And, you know, the metatarsals in my left foot were obviously a little stiff. So, you know, it gives me a great opportunity to, you know, adjust my training schedule and, you know, better simulate the things that were causing soreness. So when I come back, I'll be more ready.
What's the balance with the knee in terms of what you can't do, like having weight on it versus having, like you said, the rest of your body? How do those go hand in hand, where you don't want to put pressure on but still want to make sure you're...
My conditioning is fine. My conditioning was already at a really, really high level. So now it's just a matter of kind of keeping that where it is. And you know, I've been doing a lot of bike work, so that's been doing a trick so far. And you know, when I'm able to start running on it again, I'll do some of that work and get out on the court and shoot and move around.
Has it caused you to wonder if you came back maybe a month later or 2 weeks later, if that would have happened? Do you think it was related to the timetable?
Because it's Christmas, I'll refrain from being a smartass. I don't think one had anything to do with the other. I mean, we've evaluated it pretty extensively, and you know, the fact of the matter is, you know, any of us can get hurt at any moment. And, you know, the key for us as an athlete is to block that fear out. And then when you have injuries, that fear is enhanced. And, you know, you kind of put yourself under a microscope a little bit and start thinking about it too much. In reality, this can happen to anybody. And so you have to be able to tune that noise out and just go out there and perform.
How much did it mean to you to receive tweaks of support from guys around the league, such as LeBron?
Well, I mean, it means a lot, man. We're all competitors and we all compete against each other, but, you know, at the end of the day, we are one group. You know, we are, you know, brothers in this industry. We all look out for each other. So, you know, it's certainly, you know, feels good to have that support from your peers.
Is there anything you learned about 4 to 6 weeks?
Say again?
The schedule, the recovery schedule?
Yes. Yes.
Is there anything, the 6 games that you played, is there anything you learned about, you know, how you're a different player?
No, I felt like I could. I learned that I could pretty much do everything that I could before, and particularly in the last game, I felt like you know, the biggest part of my game is, you know, the last 2 or 3 years has always been getting to a space on the floor and being able to elevate and shoot, you know, pull up jump shots and, you know, getting into the paint. And you know, it was great tests going up against Tony Allen, who, in my opinion, has been the guy who's defended me the best individually in the league since I've been in the league. You know, in 4 game of 5 nights, be able to go up against him and you know, and respond to that challenge. So, you know, I feel really good about it.
Is there a place where you think the team needs to be record-wise when you get back to stay in contention?
I don't know. I don't know what those numbers look like. I'm not really sure. I mean, we all know how tough the Western Conference is, but I'm not sure.
After playing the entire second half after suffering the injury, do you ever worry that sometimes you're too mentally tough?
No, man, you know, I didn't know it was fractured. You know, I don't think any of us did. I mean, it was just one of those things. I mean, you don't know, you know, so you just go out there and you play, and, you know, the knee stiff, and yeah, it's painful, but, you know, it was no worse than some of the things I've played with in the past. So, you know, you just go out there and, you know, do what you do.
Are you on the area on the side of caution? Would you like to push for the 4 weeks and kind of get that down?
Right. My philosophy on that stuff is you do your job. you do your job. You know, you owe it to the organization and to your teammates to get ready as fast and as quickly as you possibly can, and to come back as strong as you possibly can be. So.
Kobe, after the Achilles injury, you talked a lot about when you had self-doubt and that coming up a lot. Now with this new injury, did that come up again?
No, you know, it was more so just, you know, obviously you got the negative side of the injury, but, you know, aside from that, I felt like I had some really good questions answered in terms of what I can do on a basketball floor. And, you know, it's kind of like, you know, you're experimenting, you know, from game to game and measuring things and trying to figure things out. And, you know, I felt pretty good about that, which was the biggest question mark. The knee's not really a concern to me, the fracture is ill. But the biggest question mark was how would my Achilles respond to my game. And I feel pretty good about that.
When you were playing, Kobe, talk about as far as your return percentage to 100%. Where would you have gauged your return?
From the Achilles?
Yeah, from the Achilles.
The Achilles felt fine. I mean, it was strong. You know, from you know, getting out on the court from that, it was a matter of the rest of the body catching up. And also, like I said before, you know, there's some natural, you know, tentativeness in what you can and what you can't do. And so you kind of just go down a list and try to improve from game to game.
What level of concern do you have with just the team being able to stay afloat while you're gone, and then just going through that process again of kind of the team getting used to you playing and reintegrating everything?
Well, I mean, you just got to go out there and do their job. You know, focus on the basics, you know, of the game. You know, rebounding has always been a weakness of ours. You know, this season at least has been a weakness of ours. We really got to key in on those things. You know, protecting the offensive boards, limiting turnovers. You know, stopping transition points. We just got to focus on the X's and O's.
You see yourself saying, I could have helped there, I could have helped there. Does that bother you to have to watch?
It's hard to watch. It's really, really hard to watch, you know, because it's, you know, you want to be out there and you want to be out there helping and playing and competing with your guys. I mean, watching is the really, really, you know, tough part about this. You know, I find myself kind of watching a little bit and then changing the channel and then watching a little bit and then changing the channel. So it's tough.
So it's 12:25 today. Any special tribute to ESPN?
That's true. It is. No, I just, you know, have a long memory, and it's a very good number. It's a good day.
Jordan Farmer's been waiting in some senses to have a chance to really run a team like this, especially here. What have you seen of his growth from the first time you were with him as a teammate to now that he's come back from the injury to the job?
Well, I mean, I think it's always concepts. You know, you have a young player that comes into the league, it's kind of grasping the entire feel of the game. And, you know, it's responsibilities and it's commitments to the group. You know, I think now he has a better understanding of that and how to manage, you know, different personalities or how to manage the tempo of a game. So, you know, I think he's just, you know, it's just a natural maturity that comes along with playing.
On a similar note, what have you seen in Nick Young's game in terms of his growth this season compared to his earlier years?
Well, I see him responding to the challenge of being a better all-around player. You know, those are some of the things that we've challenged him with here. And, you know, scoring the ball is something that he can do. I mean, he's been doing his entire career. You know, but we try to challenge him, and I try to challenge him to do more thing. You know, rebound, assists, you know, defend, steals, charges, you know, things like that.
He was really crediting you with your mentorship with some of those things you just outlined. What's been kind of points of emphasis of how to become that complete player that you want to be?
Well, you got to focus on it, and, you know, you have to do your homework. You got to be able to, you know, take the time to sit and, you know, watch film on the plane and stuff. And, you know, it drives me crazy when you're on a plane and, you know, the first thing he does is pick up a deck of cards. You know what I'm saying? You know, Nick, it's a 5.5 hour flight, man. You can take the first hour and, you know, do your homework, and then you can play cards for the next 4 hours. But it's just doing the homework and doing the mental preparation. That's really the biggest change for him, I think.
But we talked about as far as the team going through a difficult time and being, as they play, how to keep a positive mental outlook in order for the turnaround to
and just focus on the game. You know, it's just one of the things that I've learned is you don't get caught up in the emotion of what's going on around you. You just focus on the X's and O's. You know, at the end of the day, this is a basketball game, and whoever executes the best is the team that's going to win. You know, so you have to be able to cancel out all the other noise and distractions and focus on what you have to do to win the game.
And last question, guys, have you been doing to keep your spirits up or not let it get down on yourself about what just happened?
Oh, my spirits are fine. My spirits are fine. I think, you know, I feel more locked in now than I've been my entire career, you know, because of it. So, you know, spirits are fine, focus is great, and we're just going to have to see what happens when I come back.